Senator, I'll just go ahead first. You've always been a big advocate of watching the debt, I think more than other people. What do you think where we are right now in the entitlement programs? We just don't hear that much about really getting a handle on it, even though it takes up something like 65% of the federal budget. What do you think should be done or recommended?
Right now, I would say the best plan to get out of debt is the Simpson-Bowles budget group that Senator Durbin was part of. That is the best document that I've ever read showing us a good plan for the country to get out of debt. I think if we put in place Simpson-Bowles, Dick Durbin did a good job at that.
Senator, you took back your support from Donald Trump because you didn't like some of the rhetoric coming from his campaign, but recently you've refused to apologize for calling the president a drug dealer. Your opponent says that's not language that a state senator or a senator should be using. What is your response to that? I mean, do you have the same problem that Trump
I would
does?
say that my opponent called me unhinged for referring to drug dealer practice. But I would say it's unhinged to send $400 million in cash to terrorists.
Do you have a problem filtering some of your comments?
Not at all. Not at all. I would say I have a problem definitely with sending $400 million in 500 euro notes directly to the Ayatollahs. Remember, the State Department has changed the story very much on this. At first they said it was not ransom. Now they say it was leverage. And when they were asked on the record, do you know who picked up the 400 million? They said, we don't even know who picked it up.
Senator, given that Congress was briefed on the $400 billion payment before it was made, why now are you calling for congressional hearings, or do you worry that people will call it a political stunt? And also, your opponent seemed to suggest that you're not mentally fit for office. What did you make of that, and how do you respond?
I would say, that is a sad part. She is so desperate to run for office. She would denigrate any stroke victim in America and make fun of them. And that's awful. You shouldn't do that. For people who have strokes, they can make a tremendous comebacks mentally and physically. And I have picked up my new sport of tower climbing. I've climbed the Willis Tower 4 times now. Last time I was there, I did 37 stories. And if you guys fall behind, I will rebuke you.
What new can we learn from these congressional hearings that you're calling?
From the congressional hearings, I am the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, Subcommittee on National Security. The idea of the United States providing cash directly to the mullahs. Remember what happened after the $400 million went to Iran. The Iranians very publicly announced that they were starting a new foreign legion to create problems for the United States around the world. I think we're going to see that $400 million in the hands of this new Iranian Shiite foreign legion, which is too bad. I wish they had never gotten the money.
Senator, you called the Congresswoman a liar today on immigration.
She directly lied to this group by saying that the Syrian refugees are thoroughly vetted, even though the Director of National Intelligence and FBI say there's no screening that's meaningful at all, because there's no database. That she knowingly lied to the people of this town when she said there was thorough screening, even when the Obama administration says there's no real screening. We can't lie to the American people about national security like that. It could lead to another 9/11.
All right. Thanks, everybody.